Hello. Welcome to a new Marketing Clarity live stream. If this is your first time, if this is your 50th time, welcome. Welcome. Today's subject, whenever I do these, I like to kind of wrestle or talk about one particular subject, right? One particular question, tackle it, discuss it, tear it apart, break it down so that you, the creative business owner, can better understand whatever that particular topic, strategy, subject matter is. If this is your first time, go back into our guides. You can see I've done a whole bunch. I did how search engines work. I talked about people who say, is this too soon or too late for my marketing plan? Have a whole bunch of resources there over in the guide section on the Facebook page. So today, what I'm going to be talking about is the difference between a marketing coach and a marketing consultant. Now, interestingly enough, I came to this because, as I'm sure you know, I have launched my brand new marketing coaching program, Marketing Clarity. You may know it. You may not. We'll talk a little bit about it here. And in doing so, I have found it to be a healthy exercise myself to define the difference between what a coaching program is and what kind of a consultant does. So even as someone who provides both of those services, has provided both a consulting and a coaching service, I myself have had to define that. So for you who maybe have never worked with either one, or are looking to hire one or the other, it is very important that you understand there is a difference. Now, by no means is this, what we're going to go through today, fully definitive. Because consultant and coach, there is a little blurriness, but for the most part, they have their lanes. And that's what we're going to talk about here. And I think it really sets proper expectations when you know the difference between a coach and a consultant. So let's dig in a little bit into that very subject. Marketing coach versus a marketing consultant. Now, of course, I'm saying marketing coach and marketing consultant because I do marketing. But this is not that different whether it's business coach and business consultant. That it applies here too. Okay? So obviously, from my context, because I offer marketing services, that's what made sense. But again, when it comes to the lanes, if you will, for the coach and consultant, this applies both sides. Now, I'm curious whether you're watching live or watching in the replay, if you've ever worked with a coach or a consultant. And if you have, I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments, right? Was it, a coach? What did they help you with? Consultant, what did they help you with? So if you have hired that, now if you haven't worked with a marketing coach or consultant, I'd love to hear in the comments what you would hire them to help you with. Now, when we finish this, how they can help you, you're going to better understand. But for now, while you're watching this, I would love to hear what is it that you want help with, right? What is it that you need help with? And since I'm a marketing guy, let's keep it in the marketing context. What is it about your marketing that you need help with, that you would look to hire someone to help you with? I'd love to hear that in the comments. Talk to me. Let me know. All right. Now, starting with a coach. When you think about a coach, I don't know about you, but the things that come to mind are, okay, a whistle and probably a stopwatch. Like this, there's a sports, right, connection there. And I think that's important because their role is very similar to what a sports coach does. Okay? And the key thing there is about development. This is a biggie when it comes to what you would hire a marketing coach for. It's development. Okay? This is where you have a gap of knowledge, a gap of skills. And it's about that growth and improvement of those skills. of maybe your confidence, your knowledge in a particular skill set. Now, again, a business coach, oftentimes they have a pretty wide net. For me as a marketing coach, particularly when we're talking about our Clarity program, what I help people with is what I feel like is the absolutely essential first thing that people need to do is they need to build their marketing plan to better understand themselves, their market, their products, their service. It's an essential. And along that ride, when you're a coach, or in my case, when I'm a coach, I help to grow your skills, your confidence, your know-how. I always tell clients that the more informed you are about marketing, the better decisions you can make. And that's not even selfishly about the better decisions you can make to hire me. It's about the better decisions you can just make for yourself and for your business. The coach is also an ongoing dialogue, right? This is something that typically I'm not going to say it has no end date, but let's just say this is something that's a 3, 6, 9 month type thing. And because it's ongoing, it can kind of evolve. Again, let's take this back to a coach. If you hired a physical trainer, that's like a coach, they would work with you. I've talked about this on previous. You get the little pink weights, the embarrassing pink weights. I'm not going to say girly weights. I never say that. It's embarrassing pink weights. But then as you get past those, you start lifting the other barbells, dumbbells, things like that. How you're coached, what you do, that needs to change. This is exactly what a coach would bring. That as you grow, as you develop, as your skills grow, as your confidence grows, as your knowledge grows, how they work with you also changes and evolves. A marketing coach also big on accountability. Okay? Hey, we're going to have this 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever session. And you're going to have boom, boom. Here's your homework. Here's your tasks. Here are the things that you should be doing this week. They could be habit-based. They could be task-based. They could be, but here are the things you need to do to ensure that we continue to have the growth, the development outside of our handful of hours together, whether it's a week or day or whatever it might be. At the end of the day, the key takeaway here is that the marketing coach works on improving you. A marketing coach, or again, I suppose you could say any coach, but we're talking about marketing here. It works on improving you. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, yes, improving you will improve the business. Can improve the business. But very specifically, when a coach comes in, this is about improving an individual. Or if it's a group, okay, a group, but it works on improving the person. Okay, we got all that. If you got it, watching live, watching recorded, hit got it in the comments. Okay. So now let's switch gears. Marketing consultant. Marketing consultants typically have a very specialized skill set. Now, it's not the hard and fast rule, but typically they will have they will have a very specific something that they are like master. They got a black belt in this particular skill set. It could be conversion rate optimization. It could be SEO. It could be social. It could be content. It could be, copywriting. It's a very specific, specialized skill set. Now, a consultant, what they do is they give you recommendations and assessments. So they will still spend time with you. They need to understand where you're at and the challenges, the problems, that kind of thing. But what they will do is instead kind of give you the, for any of you that are old enough to remember getting like the Nintendo Power magazine, it's a video game magazine. And sometimes there'd be like a Legends of Zelda, like it'd be like a fold out poster, it'd be like 3 folds, it'd be huge, right? And it's like all the map and the tips and the here's this and you go this way and here's a tip and this like they give you the roadmap, if you will. That's what a consultant does. Okay. Now, typically a consultant is more of a short-term or defined period of time. And oftentimes it may be just long enough for them to give you said recommendation or assessment, to give you that roadmap. They may meet with you a handful of times. They say, okay, give me a week, a month, a day, whatever. And I'm going to put together my recommendations and assessments for you. Boom. They put that together. They give it to you. Nice doing business with you. Okay. A consultant works on improving your business. They probably will not be there to develop or work on the implementation or expand your skill set. They are there to say, hey, here's the plan, take it, and you run with it. Okay? They give you the annexation of Puerto Rico plan, and you got to figure out how you run that with the Little Giants. For those of you that get that reference, put in the comments, got it. Or you could put Icebox, I suppose, in the comments if you'd like. It's a Little Giants reference. Sorry. Super nerd. Nerd time. Okay, let's get out of here. All right. So, these are the fundamental differences between a marketing coach and a marketing consultant. Hey, my screen's cut off. Okay, that says consultant, not just consulta. I think you know that. Okay. But here's the thing that they have in common. Critically important. Neither of these people will take responsibility for the delivery of your projects. And I do not say this as a knock. I say this because you need to understand that if you're going to work with a marketing coach or a marketing consultant, that at the end of the day, it is still going to be on you to do the work. Now, a coach will kind of be there along the way more often than not to help you do that. A consultant, not so much the case. A consultant is a really good fit if you have kind of all of the tools. When I say tools, that's rude. All of the people with the respective skill sets, but you just kind of need the strategy or you need an outside opinion. And if you have that, you're like, okay, great. I can give this all. Great, we can do this. We got the team. A coach is a good fit if you don't have that team, or even if you're a solopreneur and entrepreneur, right? And you want to develop those skills, and then you can develop those skills and lead a team, hire a team. That's something that is a real great benefit to a marketing coach. So I don't say this as a negative. Please do not misunderstand me. I say this because you need to understand that a marketing coach and a consultant, they work with you in different ways, but you're going to be responsible for the delivery and execution. If you want a done-for-you solution, that's oftentimes where you go and you hire an agency or a freelancer that, you know, is a jack of all trades or something like that. So this helps to set your priorities properly, okay? And I think really your expectations. So since we've been talking about both of these, obviously I'd be a dum-dum if I didn't talk to you about my new Marketing Clarity coaching program. This program has been literally years in the making. I didn't even know it was years in the making, but it is, and it has been, and I'm so incredibly proud of it. GetMarketingClarity.com. This is a coaching program. It is a 10-week coaching program. And it is a program that I have built. It's come about over years of working with dozens of creative business owners. And I used to do a program, it was called the Roadmap Sessions. And out of that came Marketing Clarity. And it's because I worked with so many creative small business owners, and even some that were not small, some medium and large. And the problem was, I would always ask, do you have a marketing plan you can share with me? And the answer 100% of the time was no. And so what you need is that plan. And a lot of times when you're a creative small business owner, the reason you don't have the plan is because you're in this fog. You don't know where to start. You don't know how to start. You don't know what to do. Also, when you're a creative business owner, marketing plans are snoozy as hell. Go back and check out my video about why traditional marketing plans don't work. And I break down honestly, the reasons why you probably don't have a marketing plan. It's not because you can't do it. It's for so many other reasons. It's outdated. It's snoozy. It's a pain in the ass. You're a creative. I have to do all this research. Okay, go back and watch the Why Traditional Marketing Plans Don't Work video. It really helps. It can really help you if this is something you're contemplating. Now, when we're talking about the Marketing Clarity program, it centers around kind of three big tiers. Customer clarity. That's about defining your audience. We spend so much time inside of this program about defining your audience. Because if you don't understand them, how are you going to reach them with your messaging? How are you going to reach them with your content? You're not. Then we're going to talk about company clarity. That's the second pillar. This is where we build your brand identity. Okay? This is where you get to step into your power. This is where you start to figure out who you are, how you communicate, your voice, your look, all that stuff. It's important because once you figure out who your audience is, you have to figure out who you are to them. That's where company clarity comes in. And last, we talk about content clarity. The big thing here is that this builds customer, company, then we get to content. We break down, work on so many different things. And when you're done with the content clarity section, you literally have hundreds of content ideas and opportunities that will just be SEO value, sales value, blog value. It can be a blog. It can be a video. It can be social. It can be all these things. So if you want to learn more about it, go to getmarketingclarity.com. You can go there and you can book a 15-minute clarity call with me. 15 minutes. That's it. I got to ask you, if you're stuck with your marketing and you can't commit to a 15-minute call just to see if I can help you, I promise you, it ain't a sales call. It's not. I don't come with any sales materials to that call. It's a discussion to see if I can help you. And candidly, if you're a right fit for this program. I don't just sling clarity out to anyone. You have to be a good fit for this too. So we're going to have that discussion on that call. Getmarketingclarity.com. Book your 15-minute clarity call. We'll figure out if it's a good fit. And I'll tell you more details about exactly how this program works. So that brings me to the end of today's Clarity live stream. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you found this to be helpful to maybe a colleague, another small business owner, someone else in your network, share this group with them. Invite them in, please. We're stronger. We're stronger together. Okay? The rising tide lifts all boats. So if you found this to be helpful, please share this group with a friend. And until next time, I encourage you to keep pedaling.